Hi, ladies and gentlemen. So we're back this week and we're looking at Samuel Coleridge, who was a very influential poet of his time period. We're only going to be reading one of his poems this week, which is pretty sad because he has so many great writings that we could look at. But because of time and because of the length of the one that we're going to read, we're just not going to be able to look at any more of them. But I am going to tell you some more fabulous writings of his at the end of this presentation, if you desire to go and read more. So we're reading Rime of the Ancient Mariner this week. It is a fabulous poem. It is my favorite poem of all time. It says one thing on the surface, but the hidden meaning in there is just so broad and so awesome that I think it's going to be very interesting for you. And I'm really excited to bring those to you. So I didn't include a clip about Samuel Coleridge himself. He does have a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Criticism surrounding him. It's not exactly what I was looking for, but it'll work. He is accused of a little bit of plagiarism because he seems to have taken words from other writers and kind of creating his own poems and his own literature from those, polishing them up, adding to them, making them better, making them masterpieces, but he doesn't acknowledge the original writer in any way whatsoever. And so a lot of people have said that he didn't come up with ideas on his own, he just stole from other people. And in a sense, that's possibly true in some cases, but he also was able to come up with poetry and writings on his own that kind of showcase his brilliance as a poet too. He was very close friends with William Wordsworth, and we'll talk more about that relationship next week. But they did do a lot of writings together. And in fact, Rime of the Ancient Mariner was supposed to be one such effort as well. Okay, so Rime of the Ancient Mariner is, again, one of my all-time favorite poems. I just absolutely adore it and love it. When I used to teach senior English, this was my very favorite part of that unit because I just love it so much. It was originally planned as a joint effort by both Wordsworth and Coleridge, but Wordsworth kind of bowed out. He did put in some ideas, though. A few of the things that occur was out of the mind of William Wordsworth prior to him deciding he didn't actually want to write this with Coleridge. So this poem is basically a ballad with some variation, and we know that ballads are really songs in essence. And that's kind of the rhythm and the form that you're going to see as you read this poem. The speaker is a man who is going to stop three men that are on their way to a wedding feast to regale the stories of the speaker's experience when he was younger and he was sailing the ocean. I want you to look for the following ideas in the poem. I want you to think about these things. I want you to think about Cain and the wandering Jews sent to travel the earth. I want you to think about good versus evil, fallen redemption, man and nature, or the respect for nature that it calls for and requires. Do you think that the mariner might actually take on the role of the artist? Exile and homecoming, these are romantic things that you can see in the poem. And at times throughout the poem, it seems like the sun is God. And so I want you to kind of look at that and see what you think of it. Look for the equator in this poem. You can see where they're at very clearly by where the equator is located. I want you to think about what is sin and what is penance, and what is the speaker's penance? What is the speaker's punishment forever? And what does the speaker believe that about man sinning against nature? And ultimately, all of these questions you need to be able to to answer and understand about the poem. So I really need you to really think deeply about these in the text. So some more great works that by Coleridge that I think are worth you spending a little extra time reading up in your spare time, you know. The lyrical ballads were written by Samuel Coleridge and William Wordsworth, and this is really where we get the starting date of the Romantic movement, is with the publication of this. Kubla Khan is a fabulous, very inspiring poem. The Biographica Literacia, this Lime Tree Bower, My Prison, and Christabel. Those are all great poems or works written by or in part by Coleridge. So if you get the time and the inclination, I encourage you to read more by this great poet. So you do have a writing this week that is in your assignment folder in your week 3 content folder. So make sure that you get that done by Sunday. And if you have any questions at all, please contact me and let me know.